Welcome back. The man known as Canada's Prince of Pot is planning for prison. Marc Emery has reached a deal with U.S. officials to plead guilty over his internet sales of marijuana seeds. Emery says U.S. prosecutors offered a 10-year prison term. That would mean he would have to spend at least 5 years in prison, most of it here in Canada. Emery was arrested more than 2 years ago on an extradition request from the United States. American officials say he illegally sold millions of dollars of marijuana seeds from his business based out of Vancouver. And Marc Emery joins me now from Vancouver. Marc, so what do you think about this deal?
Well, it's a necessary deal in order to save my two co-accused, Michelle Rainey. She has Crohn's disease. She would have a very painful time in jail. And Greg Williams, these are two true believers who are activists with me who should not spend any time in jail. And the United States has offered something in writing that I'm prepared to accept, even though it's outrageous that a Canadian would get the equivalent. It's like getting a 30-year sentence in Canada, serving 5 years before I'm even available for parole or some kind of like early release. So I have to waive my right to an appeal, waive my right to an early release, even though I haven't harmed anybody at all and there's no victim at all in this. It's just, you know, it's open season on marijuana activists and the marijuana people, and we see this in both the Bush administration and the Harper administration in Ottawa. So, you know, I'm between a rock and a hard place, trying to save people, trying to represent the movement, trying to do the right thing.
So do you know where in Canada you will serve your time?
I'd like to think that since my most significant conviction was passing one joint, for which I spent 3 months in jail on a 3-month jail sentence in Saskatoon, that's my most serious offense ever in this country. I've sold bongs and I've sold seeds, so I'm hoping that qualifies for a minimum security federal penitentiary.
Now, part of me wonders as I read your story, why would you do this so publicly? I mean, it's the internet. Anyone can find you. Would you change what you did?
It's good that you said anyone can find me on the internet, because that's what Health Canada told people, members of Parliament particularly. Sven Robinson, when he was the NDP Justice Critic, they told him that when people ask, when they have a medical marijuana permit, where to get seeds, Health Canada said, tell them to go search the internet and look for Marc Emery possibly. So I was being endorsed by government agencies. I was supplying medical marijuana seeds to people all over the world, and I can give you hundreds and hundreds of referrals to people whose lives have been greatly enriched by what I did, and there's not a single person who's ever been harmed by my activities. It's all about ideology of the U.S. government and the ideology of our current Conservative Party versus my ideology that no one should go to jail for being involved in the marijuana trade. And that's what we did. I gave away $4 million in 10 years to groups and advocacy agencies all over the world. That was all the profits we earned were given away to charities, good things, drug addiction clinics here in Vancouver, ballot initiatives here in the province of British Columbia, and around the world. We were giving that money for peaceful democratic change. And everybody, especially Karen Tandy, the head of the Drug Enforcement Administration, knows it, because when I was arrested, their press release went on at length about my legalization activities and how my fundraising for legalization activities had annoyed them.
Marc, I have about 30 seconds left. Once you get out of prison, will you resume your internet sales?
Oh, no, I haven't been selling seeds for over 2.5 years, and I've moved on beyond that. I am still trying to legalize marijuana. I'm still trying to get all the people out of jails around the world for marijuana. That's always going to be my life's mission until the day I die, or until the day this country finally accepts the wisdom of ending prohibition and makes marijuana legal.
When do you go to prison, Marc?
It could be very soon, somewhere in the next 30 to 60 days, it's likely.
All right. Thank you very much, Marc Emery.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.